It's not difficult to see why people are unhappy. Port-au-Prince is a hole of poverty. This is a functioning marketplace. It's hard to believe. The city looks like a battlefield. In parts it is, but these streets, destroyed in a huge earthquake a decade ago, haven't been rebuilt. The people say the president has failed to do anything, has overseen mass corruption, but worst of all, has allowed kidnapping for ransom to grow into the country's biggest growth business. Communities are terrorized by kidnapping. Now they barricade themselves in. Protecting themselves with machetes. The rich and the poorest are all targets for the kidnapping, and they blame the president.
With an automatic rifle strapped to his chest, Cherizier took us through the garbage-strewn alleyways of La Saline, a sprawling slum. He urged us to show the world the desperate poverty in which millions of Haitians live out their lives without basic sanitation, health care, education, or hopes for a better future. Although he is the feared leader of a violent criminal, Cherizier appears to be trying to reinvent himself as a leader, a man of the people, battling a corrupt system and the current government led by Prime Minister Ariel Henry, whom Cherizier condemns.
This system is criminal. The revolution we're preaching today, we cannot do this without because we have our own. This is a symbol of our revolution, the revolution against the 5% of those who hold all the wealth of our nation.
As he walked the streets of La Saline, Babekyou was greeted warmly by many. Does this leader have ambitions to one day rule Haiti? He certainly talks like a politician, comparing himself to one of Haiti's most revered leaders in its struggle for independence from France in the 18th century.
Jean-Jacques Dessalines was a great man, the father of the nation who fought hard to free Haiti. Today, I am doing the same fighting as Dessalines did. I am following his dream. The dream of Dessalines was to see the wealth of his country be shared equally.
Who's the biggest gangster on the west side of the island known as Hispaniola? It's the scary hours of July 7th, 2021, in the Pétionville neighborhood of Port-au-Prince, Haiti. 28 gunmen burst into the president's private residence. Boom, boom, boom. President Jovenel Moïse is murdered in cold blood, and his wife, Martine, is shot.
In July, a hit squad walked into Moïse's house unchallenged by his security and assassinated him.
No one knows for sure who's behind the assassination, but according to acting Prime Minister Claude Joseph, the assassins were, quote, a group of unidentified individuals, some of whom spoke in Spanish. A couple of months later, the New York Times reported that President Moïse's assassination might be linked to his efforts to curb narcotics trafficking and plans to publicly expose high-ranking Haitian officials involved in the Haitian drug trade. What up, world? It's the Prince of Diamonds, your local peso, and in case you didn't know, Haiti cracking right now. The people don't trust the government. The cities are on fire and almost impossible to police. Ape with an R in front of it is at an all-time high, and kidnapping gangs are popping up all over the city.
But each day this country, already one of the poorest in the world, is sliding into absolute anarchy.
Now, important to note is that the late president is what some would have called a placeholder, so to speak, for the real people in charge of Haiti. A seat warmer.
Moïse initially seems to have been a loyal successor to Martelly, but you write he's turned against some of Martelly's corrupt allies.
I mean, incredibly important. You have to remember that Moïse was supposed to be a placeholder. Michel Martelly allegedly tapped him on the shoulder, keep the bench warm for me for 5 years, then campaign for me. And these elections, national elections, are due next year.
The president who preceded him, Michel Martelly, was one of Haiti's best-known musicians for over a decade and went by the stage name Sweet Mickey. Now, don't ask me what kind of name that is, you feel me? Haitian compa music is a little bit different. you know, but the people rocking with him. They must have been rocking with Bull, you feel me? But when Sweet Mickey stepped down, he appointed Jovenel Moise as his successor because Haitian presidents can't serve back-to-back terms like in America, you feel me? So now, Sweet Mickey's wife and former manager, Sophia St. Remy, has a brother named Charles St. Remy, aka Kiko, and he is said to be one of the biggest drug traffickers in Haiti. And while Sweet Mickey was in office, Kiko had a lot of power, such as a say in everything from who got public contracts to which cabinet ministers got appointed. Now, before the 2021 assassination, President Moise had been working on a list of powerful politicians and business people involved in Haiti's drug trade with the intention of handing over the intel to the American government.
The way that Michel Martelly's associates have always said it was, oh, Michel Martelly was struck by his brilliance as an entrepreneur. But what our reporting shows is that actually Moise knew a lot of the people who were very close to Michel Martelly for years. He knew Kiko St. Remy for years and was allegedly in business with him, and others that are suspected drug traffickers who were close to Michel.
Now, of course, you could see the conflict of interest here because Kiko St. Remy and a number of other former allies of the president was on that list. So the same people who helped Moise get in office are the same people he was about to now throw under the bus.
So when Moise started to turn against the very people who brought him into power through things like this airstrip that we identify in the middle of the country, a place called Savandian, that allegedly got up to 4,000 kilos of cocaine between May and June, delivered from possibly Venezuela or Colombia. He moved on the eel industry, which we understand from various sources, Kiko St. Remy has cornered and is actually under investigation right now as a money laundering conduit. This started to actually really hit where it hurts, which is your wallet.
Now, in case you didn't know, Haiti is a country that's had high-ranking politicians involved in the South American drug trade for years, all the way since the 80s. Haitian police officers have been caught aiding drug smugglers laying planes on airstrips, while judges are regularly bribed to throw cases. A couple of years before the president was assassinated, there began to grow an outrage by the Haitian people for the job he was doing. The people of Haiti wanted Jovenel removed as president for repeatedly breaking promises and misusing government money and corruption, but President Moise had no plans on stepping down anytime soon.
In the targeting of La Saline, that was very, very pointed. It's to send a political message, to strike terror in the heart of people who would dare go on the streets and protest, not only against fuel prices, but asking, where is the Petro-Caribe dollars, the over $2 billion stolen during the previous and present administrations, demanding that the president of Haiti, Jovenel Moise, the U.S.-backed president of Haiti, Jovenel Moise, step down.
And this is when things start to get spooky because the people of Haiti would have these large protests demanding President Moise's resignation. And one of the main neighborhoods in the capital city of Port-au-Prince, La Saline, was one of, if not the most vocal about their disdain for the president. And it will all come to a head in November of 2018 when a group of mercenaries would massacre and raid the neighborhood of La Saline. In an attack where 71 people were killed, more than 100 homes were burned down, and at least 11 women were.
This was a day promising revolution against President Moise. It was consistently and indiscriminately stamped out. Drive-by shootings by the police continuous.
While the world is not watching, Haiti is seething again. Massacres have occurred in La Saline, Haiti. Men, women, and children have been alive, and few are watching.
The great Haitian Revolution that led to the emancipation of all of us
the ending of slavery throughout the Americas. And the people of La Saline, it seems, are still paying a very, very heavy price for that victory, because that's something that's never forgotten, and that this community is a center of resistance. The first Black republic in the world, right? Right here, a center of resistance.
What's wicked about this is that during the massacre, there would be absolutely no police presence whatsoever in the area to guard the people from the mercenaries. Well, there were police in the area, but they weren't policing the area. And even crazier is at the time it was reported in the Haitian news as just a bloody gang war. Now, leaked police reports by human rights groups in the United Nations would eventually make its way to the media, and they would tell a totally different story of what happened in La Saline. It was revealed that a high-ranking official from the president's party, a man by the name of Richard Duplan, was in the field during the massacre and was infuriated with a police officer by the name of Jimmy Cherizier.
His name is Jimmy Cherizier, more commonly known by his childhood nickname, Babekyou. Once a Haitian police officer, he is now the leader of a powerful confederation of gangs called G9, which controls much of Port-au-Prince and its suburbs.
Allegedly, Duplan was upset with Cherizier because he felt like Jimmy had killed too many people during the massacre, stating that that wasn't part of the original plan, implying that the government were in cahoots with the massacre. Now, who is the biggest gangster on the west side of the island known as Hispaniola? Jimmy Babekyou Cherizier is a cop who was fired not too long after the La Saline massacres in 2018. Babekyou is accused by the Haitian people of being the one who orchestrated the massacre, with the blessings of none other than the late president himself, to help dwindle political pushback from the people of La Saline. His nickname Babekyou allegedly comes from the accusations of him setting people on fire during this and other massacres he allegedly carried out in 2017, 19, and 20. In 2020, Babekyou organized 9 of Port-au-Prince's biggest street gangs and labeled them the G9, positioning himself as their leader, effectively making him sort of a king of the ghettos.
Outlaw, would-be revolutionary, leader of men in arms. The man they call Babekyou is one of the most powerful and enigmatic figures in Haiti today.
The G9 was at one time described as closely allied with the former president Jovenel Moïse, and free from prosecution as long as they enforced street-level peace. So I guess it's something like how the FBI had the mob, or how the CIA was dealing with the mob at certain points, or how the Japanese deals with the Yakuza, but in another way, I guess. In the early hours of July 7th, 2021, a group of Spanish and English-speaking gunmen attacked Moise's residence in the Pentonville neighborhood, shooting him and his wife Martine. Heavy machine gun fire was heard by Moise's neighbors, and a man with an American accent was heard speaking over a megaphone and claiming to be a member of the DEA. The former First Lady, Martine Moise, explained to the New York Times that as she was laying on the floor bleeding, she pretended to be dead and overheard the gunmen stay to search the room. Quote, "That's it," they said, hurriedly digging through his files before fleeing, adding that she did not know what the gunmen had taken. Haiti's on fire, man. It's crazy, man. Because these my people, you feel me? My mother and my father was born in Haiti. But hey, man, it's the Prince of Diamonds, your local peso. And this is just part 1 of the war in Haiti, detailing all the crime, corruption, and craziness going on in Port-au-Prince right now, man. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more street treats, man. Cop, cop, boom.
But you know what? Given the history of La Saline, and given the Haitian people who remain so resilient in the face of everything, this is the most impoverished place in the Americas. La Saline, along with Cité Soleil, the most impoverished in Haiti. So you could just imagine the conditions that people were living under in the first place. But nevertheless, they consistently take to the streets. They consistently say, we want to complete our revolution that, according to the history books, was won in 1804. But people still feel that they are still struggling for that democracy because the base of Lavalas are the impoverished people in Haiti, but people have not forgotten that, and they're still holding on to the fact that they are determined against being up against everything to continue their struggle for democracy. It's quite remarkable and it's quite inspiring, I'll have to say.